Ever since Triple H has taken over WWE around about SummerSlam time, fans have been very, very excited. Vince McMahon's gone from the company, he's no longer in charge, he no longer has power over anything. Triple H, Nick Khan, and Stephanie McMahon are now all in charge. So with this new power in line, fans felt we were finally gonna get the change that we all desired. Hello everybody, welcome to this video. This has been a video I've been wanting to make for a while, ever since Triple H took over. But I've been holding back on it. The reason why is because I didn't want to make it too soon. I didn't want to jump the gun and, and end up admitting I was wrong in the end. He's been in charge for about 4 months by now. Some people will still think I'm a bit too early on this, saying I'm jumping the gun here. Some people would think, 4 months is still a bit early, give it a bit more time. I see a lot of people on the internet saying how great Triple H has been. But me, if you've been paying attention to my reviews as of late, I am in complete indiffer. I'm a bit indiffer. I personally think Triple H is not any better. He hasn't really been making me care about most of the storylines he has been giving me. And I will be diving through many of these reasons here in this upcoming video. I hope you guys are ready, because I will be going over reasons why I feel Triple H is exactly the same as Vince McMahon. Let's get to it. Alrighty guys, let's dive in to why I feel Triple H is no different than Vince McMahon. Now, I've had a lot of time to process all my thoughts, all my opinions, so I hope you guys are ready. And just remember, just because I am making this video does not mean I am trying to tell you guys that you should agree with what I am saying. This is just a video where I am making my personal opinions, and if you if you disagree, I'm perfectly fine if you disagree with what I say in this video. I personally am very indifferent about Triple H. So let's take a look at some of the reasons why I feel Triple H is no different than Vince. And yes, it is very hot here in Melbourne right now, which is why I'm in my knickers, no pants on, and just shorts. So, if you can't deal with a grown man being half naked, then I don't know what to say. Anyways, one of my biggest critiques about Triple H's booking is number one with Liv Morgan. Now, 2020 was a good year for Liv Morgan. It really was. It was a good year for Liv Morgan. I will not deny that. I feel 2023 should be an even bigger year for her. I personally feel Liv Morgan should win the Royal Rumble, challenge Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, and dethrone her. That's how I feel. That's how I would want it to go. However, Vince McMahon has to be given credit for Liv Morgan's rise. I don't care how much you despise Vince. Triple H really had nothing to do with Liv Morgan's rise to being the SmackDown Women's Champion. Vince really did play his role pretty well into this by giving her the Money in the Bank and having her cash in. But remember, guys, Triple H didn't take over until SummerSlam. He didn't take over until SummerSlam. So, I see a lot of people saying that Triple H had to work with Vince McMahon's scripts. How do we know exactly? How do you guys know exactly that he had to work with Vince's scripts? Have people got evidence to support that Triple H had to work with Vince's scripts? he could have easily just scratched up some of the scripts. Now, I know Triple H took over round about the time SummerSlam was coming around the corner, but still, but let's not forget, Seth Rollins versus Riddle was originally planned for that show. What did Triple H do? He took the match off the card. He took the match off the card. So you mean to tell me that he didn't, that he had to use what Vince gave him? I feel Triple H is the reason for why the fans turned on Liv Morgan. Some people will say, oh, but Vince McMahon, he was the one that booked the controversial ending because that was probably his plan before Triple H took over. How do we know this exactly? Fans just speculate. I'm speculating here as well. Just because I'm not telling you I have all the proof. I'm not telling you guys I have legitimate effort and proof that that Triple H didn't indeed have Vince's scripts. Everybody speculates. We all speculate. I'm speculating and telling you guys that I feel Triple H made changes to the SummerSlam card. He would have kept it as it is. He removed the Seth Riddle match, and he could have made a few changes every now and then. He could have made a few tiny little changes. But other than that, he could have just... And again, people say Triple H was using Vince's scripts. I don't believe Vince McMahon ever had in his script Bayley to return with Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Because I remember hearing reports saying that Vince wanted nothing to do with Bayley and her little idea of damage control. Vince wanted nothing to do with the damage control stuff. He said no to the damage control stuff. The damage control stuff has Triple H's handprints all over it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. We all know damage control has Vince's handprints all over it. So people can try and deny that Triple H was using the same script as Vince, but I felt he could have easily made some changes. And he could have made a change to the Liv Ronda match instead of changing it to, and he could have changed it to whatever Vince McMahon had it and changed it to the controversial ending we got. So that's why I fully believe that Triple H played a heavy role in Liv Morgan's downward spiral, and more importantly, her losing the SmackDown Women's Championship and the fans turning on her. And then, losing the title to Ronda Rousey. Damage Control, I can go over them, and I can go over them as well. Damage Control's booking has been very up and down, been very weird. Triple H's booking has been kind of odd. Sometimes he'll have people win, sometimes he'll have people lose. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with people winning and losing because that's how it is. But I feel Damage Control are the biggest victims when it comes to Triple H's booking. Mainly because of the fans. Because every time when Dakota and Io lose their goddamn tag team titles, the friggin' internet bloody bitch and moan like what they did when Aaliyah and Raquel won the tournament. They had a little whinge that Damage Control didn't win because everybody expected them to win. Everybody expected Damage Control to win. Right? Everyone expected them to win. Triple H then decides to, pull a swerve on everybody and shock everybody and give everybody a shocking outcome. But instead of people being excited about the shocking outcome, everybody threw a childish temper tantrum. And then 1 week later, Triple H fixed it all by giving the titles back to Damage Control, and then everybody was happy. And then Damage Control would lose their titles to Alexa Bliss and Asuka, fans would start bitching and crying yet again, and then Triple H would give the belts back to them. Do you guys see the point here? Triple H basically listens to the outcries of the fans on social media. Triple H needs to stop listening to the internet community. Not just WWE, all wrestling promotions need to stop listening to the internet fans. Do what you want. Just because we, the audience, are crying about how you've been booking your shows, doesn't mean we're telling you how you should be booking it. It's your product. You do whatever you want with it. That's my biggest problem, I feel, with Damage Control. And another thing about Damage Control, I personally, they were just fed to Bianca Belair. They weren't felt like a big threat. They did feel that way for a bit, but after when Bianca Belair single-handedly took all three of them out, you know, when she took all three of them out at, I think it was Extreme Rules, and still won the ladder match, how are we supposed to believe that Damage Control were a real threatening faction, if you know what I mean? So that's Damage Control, and one other things about Triple H's booking that I feel is exactly the same as Vince's, is it may be a new era, we may have a new boss, but the same people are being pushed. When Triple H took over, everybody thought we were finally going to be getting some new fresh matches, new people being pushed. Roman's still champion, Usos are still champion, Bianca is still champion, and Charlotte Flair is now champion. Now you guys know I love Charlotte and I'm happy she's the champion, but I cannot hide or deny the fact that these are and I guess Austin Theory as well. I will include Austin Theory as well because he was also a Vince McMahon project. I will include Austin Theory. These 5 individuals are people that Vince McMahon heavily pushed. And the fact that Triple H is still pushing these people tells me that Triple H is just pushing them because of their star power, and he knows that these people are Vince McMahon projects. If Triple H really wanted a fresh start and really show us that he's about change and giving new people opportunities, he should have separated the titles from Roman, separated the titles from the Usos, have Bianca Belair lose the title to Rhea Ripley, have Ronda or Charlotte drop the title to a younger star like a Liv Morgan, and then just start fresh. Austin Theory as well. Out of all the current champions, the only one I genuinely enjoy is Gunther. I actually really enjoy Gunther. He's actually one of my favorite things about SmackDown. I enjoy his matches. I really enjoy the bangers that he really puts on every week. With Ricochet or Sheamus. I think Gunther is one of the best things about SmackDown. He's been one of the best champions. Everybody else are just the same people that Vince McMahon pushed before Triple H took over, and he's just kept the titles on them. He's just kept the titles on them. Because, you know, he wants to make sure they stay champions. Even Ronda Rousey. Vince McMahon pushed Ronda Rousey as champion when he was around, and now here he is again, and now here he is again, Triple H pushing Ronda Rousey to a championship. Because I don't know why this company sees anything in Ronda Rousey. She is not a draw. She doesn't bring any value. She doesn't give a shit about the company. She doesn't love it. She doesn't want to be there. She's just there to collect the cash. That's all she's there for. Ugh. And one other my big major complaint is the people that he's been bringing back. This has nothing to do with the women. I'm perfectly fine with the women he's bringing back. I more have an issue with the men that he's been bringing back. Shit Row? Who cares about Hit Row? Well, I guess B-Fab. I don't really care for B-Fab. Like, who gives a shit about Hit Row? Braun Strowman? Who cares about him? Johnny Gargano? I'm sorry, but Johnny Gargano is not a sports entertainer. He's a pro wrestler. He's better off in AEW. Because he's a pro wrestler, not a sports entertainer. He's not funny. He's not funny. He's not entertaining. He doesn't bring anything to the product. He's trying to be what he's not. And that's a sports entertainer. And Johnny is not a sports entertainer. You've also got, you know, Gallows and Anderson. No one really cares about them. No one really cares about Dexter Lumis. The only people I'm genuinely happy about are Bronson Reed and Emma, for obvious reasons. But then you've got the women like Mia Yim. Not the biggest fan of her, but her being there adds some nice value to the women's division. Same thing with Tegan Nox. Not the biggest fan of her, but she brings value. The women that he's been bringing back are women that I can get behind and feel that they can add a lot to their division. And I can't forget about Karrion Kross. The guy sucks balls. He's awful. I don't understand why Triple H brings back all these guys and expects us to care about them. They've been back they've been back around about 4 months at least, and the fans still don't care about them. Why should we care? I do not care about these guys. Outside of the women, I just don't care for all the men. Hell, I don't even care for Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is one of the only male wrestlers that the fans generally care about, but I'm not interested in Bray Wyatt. The breakout star for me is LA Knight. I'm becoming more of a fan of LA Knight because he is a sports entertainer. He's a sports entertainer. Johnny Gargano is not a sports entertainer. LA Knight is exactly what Johnny Gargano isn't. LA Knight is really one of the biggest stars to me because I can see that star power. Johnny, I can't see that star power. Candice, not the biggest fan of her, but she's a good wrestler. But all I'm trying to say is that Triple H is just pushing the wrong people. He's pushing the same people. Nothing has changed. The same people are being pushed. Nothing feels different. Nothing feels different about Triple H being in charge. It has gotten to the point now, I'm starting to explore new options. It's coming to that point, I'm starting to search for new options. Now that Sasha Banks is a free agent, no longer in WWE, I may watch New Japan just to see what she does. I've been peeking around on AEW, watching some of their stuff. I watched a few segments with Paige and Britt Baker, saw a match with Jamie Hayter and Cheetah, saw Tony Storm's matches. I even recently watched a Jade's match on Rampage. All I'm saying is, I'm starting to explore new options. I'm finding, in 2023, I may start exploring new options, because Triple H isn't giving me reasons to care. That's my biggest problem with Triple H. You don't have to agree, but I feel nothing is different. Nothing has changed. We may have a new boss, but nothing feels different. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I'm sorry it went on for a while, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button. Give me your comments down below. Hit that like button and subscribe. And I will see you all next time. My God, it's hot in here!